with racing. Then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
This is Punters Inside Run, and we turn our attention to group racing in Sydney at Randwick. We've got 6 group races, 2 Group 1s. And Shark, the first one we're going to look at is the Group 1 Chipping Norton over the 1,600 metres. Anamoe's back. And it's a situation once again where we try to find a chink in the champ's armour. Is there anything that we saw out of the Apollo to suggest that Anamoe is beatable here?
I don't think so. I don't think there is. Hinged, Fangirl, the 2 mares at the bottom, really nice horses. Hinged ran a great race, tried her backside off, but the problem is when Anamoe kicks into gear and is asked for an effort, his effort is better than any of these. So the opposition really needs something to go wrong in running for Anamoe. And the way James McDonald is riding and the barriers that this horse continues to draw.
Keeps draw good barriers.
He will just lob in that first 4 or 5. Yep. It's just a matter of finding the angle from the turn, so he's got clear running from the 350, and he'll just build revs and go over the top of them again.
Mo'unga was a little bit wide in the Apollo. He's a good second up horse, and Hugh Bowman's back from Hong Kong.
He is.
And he is literally airborne.
He's going really well in Hong Kong. Mo'unga is a hit and miss horse. When everything goes his way, a bit like Goldilocks, he's happy. He only needs one thing to be against him though, and he can find a way to get beaten. I can't see him beating Anamoe.
Got my new name for a new horse. Goldilocks is happy. And are you expecting more from El Bodegon?
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more from him. He was pretty plain first up, so I think he needs to find the line with a bit more enthusiasm this time around if he's going to be competitive when you get to Randwicks and races like that.
We'll both have Anamoe on top. Give us second and third.
Hinged, next best for me. And a bit of value, I think, in this race is number 4, Huetor.
Huetor. A lot of people saying best value in the race.
I think so. Like he missed that spring preparation. They popped him out in the back of December in that Ingham race, the big rich race. He got a mile out of his ground from a wide gate. He had weight on that occasion. I think I've beaten a length and a half. It was a great run. He can go well fresh. I think Huetor is the value.
I'll go with Anamoe, as mentioned. I'll go with Mo'unga with Huey Bowman back in the saddle to come second. And Fangirl, if the track does get a little bit dry, that'll only benefit her. But Fangirl to come in the top 3. All right, we move to the Group 1 Surround Stakes, and it's a very similar situation. In Secret did the job a couple of weeks ago. This horse she's just a beauty, isn't she? And again, we're looking for chinks in the armour, but she's got to beat a horse here that is very capable, and that is, of course, Zougotcha, and Zougotcha's back. Yeah,
and Zougotcha, again, James McDonald's sticking with Zougotcha from the last preparation, so she's beaten her before.
That was 1,200 metres, this 1,400.
It was, and that's a query, and Zougotcha has to resume at 14, where In Secret's had that run under the belt. I love the arrogance that Nashville Willer had on In Secret last time. He had to wait for a gap to come, he never panicked. As soon as that gap opened up, the horse was straight through, and he was pretty much hands and heels that last 100, despite a horse like Sunshine in Paris being at her top and just sitting at her hindquarters at last 100. He wasn't worried. I think he knows the engine that he had underneath him, as does Hugh Bowman. I think In Secret will win again, but Zougotcha will test it.
Yeah, for sure. And Sunshine in Paris gets to 1,400, so it's a question mark here.
Yeah, first time. And first prep as well, so it has to go deep and go up in trip as well, so that's a query for it. Ruthless Dame I thought was good value at around that $11 mark. I thought that was a fair price for this horse. Great run in that Jacquinot race. Bankmore ran well in that. Just a little plain on top of the ground last week, but I think ultimately the form out of that race will work out really well. Ruthless Dame will run a big race here.
All right, your top 3 for the Surround.
Shooting pretty straight here, Matty. Zougotcha number 1 on top to beat, In Secret number 1 on top to beat Zougotcha number 3 and Ruthless Dame number 11.
Yeah, I think it's J-Mac versus Huey here. Hugh Bowman is on In Secret. J-Mac staying with Zougotcha, but In Secret at the 1,400, one run, only at the 1,404, beaten a lip by Jacquinot, so that form's there. We know Zougotcha, what it's capable of. And I'll throw in Madame Pomeroy. I tossed up between Ruthless Dame and Madame Pomeroy. It was a really, finished with good sectionals in that light fingers. Last time, second up, was beaten less than half a length behind Zougotcha. So a bit of odds there for that race there, number 7 to run third. All right, let's have your best bet in Sydney and your best value bet.
I think as long as they're offering $1.70 or thereabouts for Anamoe, he's the best bet. I think he's the most likely winner of any of the races up there on the weekend. He's the best horse in Australia. So we take that. I think the best value, if we go to race 5, number 1, Mustang Valley. I think really good each way. Lost the rider in that big sprint race in New Zealand last time, so we can be forgiving of that. Blanc to Blanc, race 6, number 1's the next best. I think it's ready to win that. Skirt the Law from the Millions.
Yep.
Fresh into this preparation. We see that a lot with Millions winners. They're often vulnerable in that little first up run off and freshen up. I think Blanc de Blanc was not unlucky, but very, very big behind learning to fly last time. And we're all talking about learning to fly as the Golden Slipper winner, so it's run it to a long neck.
Yeah, now I've left out Anamoe and In Secret for my best, and it is Blanc de Blanc. Given what you just mentioned there, that learning to fly form is the best form at the moment. Just beaten on the line by draw similar. J-Mac stays with her, ready for the 1200. Pretty keen on race 6, number 2. Value bet something about $35.
Okay.
Around $7 the place. Bjorn Baker's got one called Night of Power. Keeps running over this 1600 metres the last 3 runs. Finally stretches it out to 2000. It's won over 2000 before, and it's been competitive at this level of benchmark 88. So be running on, and I reckon $7 the place is a reasonable bet to run in the top 3. All right, that's us for Sydney. Coming up, James Lamb will return to the desk. We're going to get Sharks, same race multi. Well, I'm looking forward to it because it's a huge day. And we're going to have the perk, the Punters Inside Run Quaddie.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's BETR. Gamble responsibly.